this is Dylan at Salty Underground, and today we're going to be doing a video on adding some corals to our display tank. So our display tank is still fairly new, and we don't want to go adding like very high-end corals to our tank. We don't want to add like any scollies or anything like that. The thing that you want to start off with when you're adding corals to your tank is some soft corals. So the first corals that we are adding to our tank are the Pulsing Xenia and the Green Star Polyps. And as you can see here, we are going through the acclimation process. And the acclimation process is where we are adding the water from our tank a little bit at a time to our containers that have our corals in it so that these corals can be properly acclimated to our tank. And so we do this 3 times, and we are waiting about 30 minutes in between each time, so we can then make sure our corals will have the best chance at survival in our tank. You can't just go chucking your corals into the tank without acclimating them, or else they will for sure die. And so now we're going to wait for the corals to finish acclimating, and now we're going to be adding them to the tank. So this is something that you're probably going to run into in many different instances. Things aren't always going to work out the way that you want them to. So we have a giant 90-gallon tank, and it's really hard to reach your arm down there to get the perfect placement. So we're using tongs. These tongs are not really very easy to work with, especially when you're trying to move frag pieces around this tank. So as you're gonna see, we're gonna make a little bit of some mistakes here. We try to move it a little bit and it doesn't really work out, and now it's gonna fall. And so it's definitely not very good. You can see that all of the star polyps are open and it falls directly face down on the sand. That's not the best for the coral. Right side it up and make sure that it is in a place where we want it, and then hope for the best. Because the area that we were going to put it had a little bit too much flow in that area, and it was just feeding the star polyps all around, and we were like, that's probably not the best place to put it. And in our infinite wisdom of trying to move it, didn't work out. The same thing happened here with this Pulsing Xenia that we had. We went to put it in, and this is on a frag plug. So this has much more weight on it compared to that little frag disc that the star polyp was on, and so it fell like directly down on to the coral. We end up having a little bit of the same issue that we had with the star polyp, where we couldn't directly get it where we wanted it to go. And we also had the issue of where we wanted it to go was getting really beat with the flow of the tank. Here you can see we're trying to anchor it into this rock in like a good place, because we thought that this would be a nice place to put the coral. And it ended up being a good place. That's where we have the coral right now, as you'll see later. And since we were moving it all around, it wasn't very happy with us, so it was all closed up. But then later on, it starts to open up, which is really good for us and really good for what we think that the coral is going to end up surviving. And so here is video of the Pulsing Xenia today. This is probably 2 to 3 weeks after it's actually been put in the tank, and so it's really nice and happy currently. So it just shows that you can make some mistakes when you're adding some corals, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be the death of the coral. And so this is the same thing with the star polyps. This is the star polyp today, and it was not happy when we dumped it on the sand, but it looks really good today. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know in the comments down below if you've ever had any kind of incident with your corals and adding them to your tank. And remember, if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Bye.